Okay, today we're going to talk about my schedule. And like I said, I'm trying to make these kind of fun. I did one on Wildwood. I'll obviously I'm all about the details. You'll probably get so sick of looking at spreadsheets, but that's kind of how my mind is a spreadsheet. All my friends make fun of my spreadsheet stuff. But so I'm trying to do one that's like financial, which I'll be pumping one out soon with expenses. We're gonna start. That'll probably be like a good 4 or 5 parter. But I just thought today would be kind of fun to do one on my schedule. That's why I look so bad right now, because I just got off the treadmill running my 3 miles, and it made me think, hey, let's do a video on what my days look like. And they're fairly scheduled, but nothing like when I used to work, of course. So if you so we'll just go over this. So if you look at my schedule, I kind of broke it down here on the left throughout the day, and obviously it's not like this all the time, but it's pretty close to this because one of my big commitments when I retired was I really wanted to maintain the same kind of work schedule as best I could, which I didn't want to become one of these people who got trapped watching TV all the time or just sitting around. So I really wanted to put together some kind of schedule, and I went right to it. Didn't really sleep in late, nothing like that. So let's just take a look. So obviously I'm still getting up in the morning. Is this always 6:30, 7:30? No, it's pretty almost always between 6:30 and 7:30. Originally I used to get up at 6. Now I'm more of a 6:30 guy, which is a good time to put in. So my wife Beth, she still works, so I wanted to get up with her too. God bless her. She's a teacher, so she has summers off, spring break, Christmas break, a lot more time off. So she was really gracious when I was about to lose my mind and just couldn't do it anymore. She said she would continue to work, and it doesn't make tons because she's a teacher, but we'll get into all that another time. So I like to get up with her in the morning. I in the summers when I used to go in the city, I would get up and be by myself, and literally all the kids would be sleeping. And I just didn't like it. Everyone would be sleeping, so I try and get up. So that's I've committed that time. 6. She usually leaves. She's usually up around 6, and then she usually leaves. Between quarter to 8 and 8. She works 5 minutes away from the house, which was one of the things when she was looking for a new job that was so important to us. Is that's why it took a few years that she would have a really easy commute in town. So that's the first thing we do is I spend time with Beth. She'll do her devotions, which she'll read her Bible. I'll read my Bible if it's a good time, if it's working out. Then at 8 o'clock, I'll watch. The only news that I try and watch during the day is Fox Business. I mean, I'm a little more conservative, but it's just watching like Fox and Friends. It's just too much politics and stuff. The great thing about Fox Business is that they can't just sit there for an hour and pummel you with politics. Or if they do, it's smaller. There's still a degree of that, but they'll bring in CEOs. They'll bring in big business people, and they'll talk business. So you don't have to just. Whereas regular Fox is just politics, just over and over again. There's this book I've been wanting to read. I lost my dad to Fox or something like that. And the bottom line is not much of this stuff we can change. So I think it's important to be informed. But the reality is just sitting and watching it all day, you're not really able to change much about it. So knowing what's going on is probably important. But I didn't want to get overwhelmed with it or obsessed with it. So around 9, usually, I'll walk the dogs, except for winter, which was a little bit of a challenge around this time, is a little bit of a challenge. Usually, what I'll do is, I mean, I obviously, and I'm eating breakfast between this 6:30 and 7:30. But my breakfast schedule is really simple. It's either 2 eggs, because when I stopped working, I really just wanted to focus in on my health too. So it's either 2 eggs, and then on every other day, and then it's like half a bowl of cereal. So during this time, 9 to 9:30, it kind of varies. Sometimes I'll watch YouTube in the winter. I must say, winter was a little harder. Spring, summer, fall, it's easy. For some reason, Christmas time wasn't bad either. Christmas and Thanksgiving, I guess, because Beth was off a lot. So I'll walk the dogs, for a half hour, walk the dogs around the neighborhood. What I've been doing lately is I'll wrap out a YouTube video. Not so much. Sometimes I'll just watch YouTube between 9 and 9:30, or when I really feel like doing some exercise. Um, sometimes I'll do my prep work. So a lot of, like, even putting this spreadsheet together, I'll have to do it. I did it right after working out this morning. So then every day around 9:30, I try and do something exercising, except for Sunday, not because of the Sabbath or anything, just because I don't know, it just kind of worked out that way. So I'll lift. It takes me an hour usually to lift, and now I do a treadmill for an hour. The reason it's an hour is because I'm pretty bad. I have like a 20-minute mile, so I can do 3 miles in exactly 1 hour. I started that probably about, I don't know, 2 months ago. The treadmill is probably 15 years old, still running like a charm. Same with some of my workout stuff. So my lifting schedule, since I was sitting here, it was fun. It's a very little thing to talk about. Is I do the bench. I'll do 4 sets with the bench, but the first set is just a warm up. So I need the bar, and I'll do uh, 20 with 65 pounds, 20 reps. This should be rep. Well, no, I guess it is sets. It's number of sets. My first set, I'll do 20 with 65 pounds, which is just meant to just kind of warm me up. And then I'll do 12 at 155, 10 at 175, and then more at 175. At one point, I was doing a lot more than that, but I hurt my shoulder. I think I was up to like 210 or something like that on some of these reps. Like the third rep, I think I do 210 like 10 times, but I hurt my shoulder. And then I realized, you know what? I'm just not the young man I used to be. It's not worth it anymore. So then I have another exercise I do because I'm working on my chest because I was getting boobs and not the good ones. And so I put 2 10s together, lay on the bar on the bench backwards, and I lift them like this while I'm squeezing. So that works the inner side here. It's pretty easy, but I feel it. So I'll do um, 30 reps of 20, 25 reps of 20, and 20 reps of 20. Then I do simple curls, so that's pretty easy. I do 12 at 25, 10 at 25, and 10 more at 25. I do leg lifts where I sit on the bench and just bring my legs to my chest. Not all the way to my chest, obviously. That was meant to kind of start working on my legs and my stomach. So I'll do 30 of those and 25 of those. I'll do bent over rows with the dumbbells. So I do reps of 30. And a lot of this is convenience. I bought these dumbbells. They're oh shoot, what are they called? The one that everybody uses with the term. Oh, I can't remember. It'll come to me. But I bought them, not Penta, whatever. I bought them, I think, 15 years ago, and they're still together and working great. So we actually work out in my friend's garage. So we have all this stuff in his garage, and we all started working out together. Myself and my two neighbors, they're gonna start joining me again. But so I do the bent over row with the two dumbbells, and that's basically two dumbbells, 30 each. So I do 30 at 60, 25 reps at 60, and 20 reps at 60. I do the shrugs with the dumbbells. I do shrugs. I find the dumbbell work is just easier. It just seems like it's less restrictive and less likely for me to get hurt or mess something up. So I do 25 at 60, 25 at 60, and 18 at 60. Calf raises, I do a lot, 30 at 60, 25 at 60, and 25 at 60. That's just, I never used to do legs. So now I'm doing the treadmill to try and work the legs. I do the leg lifts for the stomach and the legs. That's the calf, just working that out. Then I do hammer curls. I do 12 at 60, 10 at 60, and 9 at 60. Listen, I'm a creature of convenience. The reason it's 60, 60, 60 is because they're the twist dumbbells where you twist them and then you put them in, you twist the weight, and you pull them out. And I have 2 sets of those actually. So it's just convenient. When I have them at 60, I don't have to put them back in. I can just go. And then my second set I use for 20. Well, I actually got 2 sets around, or curls actually. The reason I got 2 sets is because when there was 3 of us working out together, we just didn't have enough dumbbells. So I picked that up. So that's what I do on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I lift in the morning, and then Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday I do treadmill, and then Sunday I do nothing. So then, just funny. It's like you start thinking about things you do, and I have to shower every day. But what I'll do, so on Mondays I'll shower, but Mondays is my food shopping day because that's part of it, right? So Beth is still working. We used to have maids that would come in once every 2 weeks, and like 4 of them would come in. It was a great deal. It was like $100. 4 of them would come in about an hour and a half to get the whole house done. But when I retired a year ago, I said, you know what? I'll take on basically everything that needs to be done with Beth working. Um, whatever needs to be done, I'm going to do. So I do the food. I do all the food shopping and all the food planning. So usually on Mondays every week, I'll go food shopping. That takes like a couple hours to go get it and bring it back and then stock the shelves and everything. And then every other week, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I do cleaning. I used to do it all in one day, and it was just miserable. And also, I couldn't do the yard work. But so I do part one, part two cleaning now. So every other week, I'll do. I do them the same week, but cleaning part one is I do the entire upstairs. That's like everything: dusting, bathroom, showers, vacuuming, mopping. You just name it, everything. And then I do the same thing the next day, except for I do it downstairs. So it just found I didn't hate it as much, and I tend to do a better job. Sometimes I'll do some things like, since I broke it up into two parts, I'll do like, I'm gonna clean out the fridge or do more work, stuff like that. Um, so that's my Tuesday, every other week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Then what I'll do in the summer and in the spring is on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And it kind of lands depending on how, what I'm doing and how I'm feeling. Like cleaning, I don't put off. Um, so on the two, I usually do yard work on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So and I split it up into two. Same with cleaning. So I do my front yard work. I have a third of an acre, but it's all grass. And so what I'll do on Tuesdays and Thursdays is on Tuesday I do the front because every other week, and that's every week. So every and our falls in New Jersey they're beautiful, but they're such a pain. I still have leaves out there. It's like stinking February, and I on the way out the door, Beth was like, "Oh, can you get the leaves in front of the garage?" And I just hate leaves so much. So I'm gonna do the front leaves today. It's January or it's February, and I'm actually gonna be going out and doing some more leaves in front of the garage because you just can't get rid of all of them because the falls are just unbelievable. I have a lot of trees too, so it's a lot of work. So anyhow, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I will do, whether it's cleanup or mowing the yard or doing fall cleanup. I just do it every week. On Tuesday, I'll do the front. And so I usually have stuff like in the spring, it's all about spring cleanup, planting flowers. Summer's all about maintenance. I did some projects last year where there was some property. It's all part of the art. I was some property in between myself and my neighbor, and he and I had been talking about cleaning it out for a while. So he was doing some work. He was paying somebody to do some work, and they had a backhoe, so he just ripped it up. But then I took like 2 or 3 days and just cleaned it all out, pulled out all the roots, and did all that crazy stuff. So that would be considered yard work too. So usually spring is full. Fall is usually every single week. I'm doing the front and the back, just getting rid of the leaves because I have a gajillion trees. And then, of course, it's just mowing. One of the things I do tend to do in my new schedule, so we were doing Mondays, we were doing Tuesdays, is I will a lot of times just do like an hour and 15-minute lunch, and I will watch something. Usually, like I'll watch something on Netflix. I'll make lunch. My lunch schedule is just as monotonous and boring as my breakfast schedule. All the gajillion years of bringing lunches to work. Now, as towards the end of work, I worked from home for 4 years at the end after COVID, but when we were going in, I was just getting so bitter at the end of just the city commute and everything that I was buying lunch in the cafeteria 3 days a week, which that adds up. It ends up being like, I don't know, $15 a shot, so $45 a week. So, and then before then, and then I make sandwiches and I would just, have leftovers, whatever. I made my lunch for a gajillion years. Never ever, even when I was a city, did I go out to eat every day. So at this point in my life, if I can just get something that tastes good, I will eat it every day. So that's why as I said before, my schedule for breakfast is just a half a bowl of cereal or 2 eggs. My schedule for lunch is more seasonal. So I discovered that I could do a really nice oatmeal. So during the winter, I do oatmeal. It's 2/3 oatmeal, a 1 cup of 2/3 cup oatmeal, 1 cup of water, a banana, some fresh fruit like blueberries or something like that, some honey, and oh yeah, and then some granola on top. And I mix it up, and when I'm done, I put the granola on top and eat that. So literally, I've been eating that for lunch for the last 3 4 months. It's great because I got so tired of thinking about lunch, and it's pretty healthy. Um, and which is what I'm really trying to go for. So, but I will take sometimes an hour and 15-minute lunch. Sometimes I'll go an hour and a half. That's what's great. I'll give myself that flexibility. If if I'm watching something really cool or something really is interesting, I'll go over. So that is Tuesday. Let's go back to Wednesdays or cleaning. That's lunch. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll use the afternoons when I'm not doing yard work or cleaning or something like that to do projects. So I've done a lot of projects. Like in the spring, I redid my front porch. Brought it, just basically stripped it, restained it, and then sealed it. I'll do the deck. I worked on a deck is a big project. One I'll do a video just walking through the house. It's nothing spectacular, just to show you it's just an average house. Um, I did my sump pump because I've had water problems long time ago, so I need my sump pump to be hot swappable fast. So I had a plumber do it, but I didn't. He was really awesome, but ultimately I needed it to be faster. He did it like a plumber, and so I did some work there. I've painted bedrooms. I'll do projects that I think are more interesting. I'm really looking forward to the spring because those kind of projects are fun. I'm going to be putting up at Christmas time prices were really good, so I bought a 65-inch TV for the back, and so I'm going to mount it on one of the. I mean, I do all my TV mounting work too, but on one of those swivel mounts that you can pull out, and I'm also going to put up an oscillating fan for the bugs and mount it to the house. So that should be a lot of fun. But it's those kind of projects I'll do. I did a lot of projects. I got to admit, projects in the winter are nowhere near as much fun as projects in the summer. Like over the summer, also, in spring and summer, early summer, I put an underground sprinkler system in the front of the house for all my flowers because I've always been into putting up the flowers. I hate yard work, but I love flowers. I took out like buttloads of bushes out of the front of my house and replaced them with flowers over the years. So that's project time. I'll try and be acutely aware of that after lunch. Like, hey, is there anything I can do for a project today? It gets a little slower in the winter. So that's Wednesday. And then, oh yeah, this is the other thing too. Usually around 4 o'clock, I start dinner. I like to, so Beth, when we were both working, she would get home at like 4. She doesn't get home so much at 4 anymore, but she would get home at 4 because she wanted to start dinner and get dinner going. We would eat around 5:36. But what that meant was she would be working at night because she wouldn't be able to stay at school and finish up her schoolwork. So what's been good, she still works at night sometimes, but what's been good about this, I told her, I said, listen, I will have dinner ready on the dot at 5 as best as I can every day. And the reason for that is one, you don't snack. Because now I'm doing the food shopping, there's like no crap in the house. It's probably a bad supply chain process because I get just what we need, except for meat. I have tons of meat downstairs. But so God help us no, if we have COVID again, it'll work out. But my supply chain's really thin. Whereas when she was doing the food check, she'd get snacks. She'd have a routine of getting some stuff. We don't have any of that anymore. So what that means is I try and have dinner. And this has been a year. I try and have dinner ready at 5 o'clock so we can all eat. So she'll come home later too. So now she'll come home around 4:30, quarter to 5, because she knows she doesn't have to make dinner. So she has more time to wrap things up at school, which has been good for her. Wednesday nights, I volunteer at church for like 2.5 hours. So actually, what I'll do too is on Wednesdays, I'll dedicate, and sometimes Tuesday too, like a half an hour to an hour, just getting ready for that prep work for what I have to do at church of the youth group. And then I mean, whatever I didn't get this for. Every night we try and go to bed between 10:30 and 11:30. The only exception to that is I love Sunday nights. My wife laughs at me because I'm a little bit nutty, but I love sticking it to the man on Sunday night. So Sunday night used to be horrible, and now I will intentionally stay up late and go to bed at like 11:30, 12 on Sunday night. I mean, also, if something Wednesdays and Thursdays get a little tough because I come in late from my men's group at like 10:30, and you can't just go from hanging out with dudes and have fun to just going to bed. So I'll tend to stay up late on Thursday nights too. But Sunday night's fun. It's one of my favorite nights now because I can tell the man to take a hike and stay up late and watch a movie. But I feel bad because it's tough for Beth that evening because she's like, oh, I have to go back to work tomorrow or whatever. So that's Wednesday. Thursday, it's the same schedule for the most part. Doing the treadmill, doing now I switch to yard work in the back of the house because my back of the house is bigger, so it usually takes a little longer. well, one of my little projects was installing a shower spout, the rain shower coming down. Another fun project over the winter was I had to wire it a little differently, but I put in an LED uh, speaker light into the shower. And so all the kids and my wife's now having fun with it too. It's been a couple months. They love taking a shower in the shower now because the Bluetooth hooks up to the shower and they get music too. Which when I'm done with this video, I'm going to take a shower and all to listen to tunes. So more projects and stuff. And then Friday, like you'll kind of see here, even though I do stuff, because the biggest thing I found with my schedule now is the things that you'll see Saturday and Sunday is pretty much empty. And that's because Saturday and Sunday, we used to have to do all this stuff that now I do during the week, whether it's studying for youth group, we never had to clean, but even like light cleanings and stuff like that. So all the leaf work, all the yard work, all the projects, all that had to be done on Saturday and Sunday. So now Saturday and Sunday is kind of free. So I intentionally keep Saturday and Sunday free now, except for Sunday night, which you'll see there. Um, and it's awesome. Like we just have both of us have a lot more time to do things. And, like if Beth says, hey, Steve, can you do this for me? And like even running errands, like returning books to the library or, just returning stuff. If Beth has something she wants me to do during the week, she'll just ask me, hey, Helen, can you do this? And I'll do it. Again, something that you would have to do or we would have to do on a Saturday and Sunday that we no longer have to do. But I also tend to leave my Friday afternoons open. Like I'll still, I'll probably fill that with like doing more YouTube videos and stuff like that. But I love having Fridays are great before. Now they're awesome because Beth isn't home. Um, and I love it. She comes home and we're ready to go. I don't usually start dinner on Fridays. Usually it's Sunday. I'll do dinner 6 nights a week or 5 nights a week typically, but not always. Like I may make eggs or something on a Friday, but a lot of times we kind of feel like going out. We always do takeout or go out to eat in some way, shape, or form. Usually takeout one night a week, and which I'll get into that budget later. But we'll do takeout one night a week. It's usually Saturday or Sunday. My oldest son Zachary, he lives like a half hour from us, so if he can, he's always busy. But he'll come on Sundays. So sometimes we'll go out Saturday, and then I'll make something on Sunday and then he'll take home the leftovers for the week. So what else? All that to say, I like to leave my Friday afternoons open. It's just tons of fun to have a Friday afternoon open. Oh yeah, and on Thursday night I have a men's group that I go to a church from. They start late. They start at 8. We usually don't get done till like 10:30. It's just a lot of fun. We have a good time. So that usually also means I'm usually a little later that night, going to bed, like usually 11:30, because because I'm just wired from having a good time with the guys. So then that leaves us with Saturday, which we try and leave open. I still do the treadmill in the morning. I do dinner planning on Sunday nights, which I don't know how many women will be on our channel. That sounds sexist, but it'd be awesome if there's women doing this financial planning too. I'm sure there's a lot of women out there doing financial planning. I just know it. Whether or not they'll find my channel is another thing. But I kind of turn dinner planning into more of a science. Like I use a program called Paprika, and it generates the grocery list. It keeps all the stuff. You can import stuff from the internet. So if Beth's the problem I used to use something else, and Beth would say, "Oh, what about this?" She has all these recipes in a notebook from some of her like Skinnylicious and some of her websites that are on the internet. And the old system I had, you couldn't do that. So this one now I can bring in her stuff and import it. And so she gives me like things she wants to do, or I'll try and make stuff she likes to do. So on Sunday night, usually takes me about an hour because I like to find something new every week. I like to cook new stuff, even though sometimes and cooking's not my favorite thing, but I like to eat. So that's a Sunday night. I'll do Sunday night dinner planning anytime during the day. I'll do that dinner planning and have it ready so that on Monday when I go food shopping, I've got my list ready to go. So that is my day. Important things for me are I try to keep busy as best I can, but still occasionally I'll just do fun stuff. Like I said, the winter's been the hardest. And I've done that with just keeping busy, doing things that I knew I had to get done. I also said in the winter I'd start the YouTube channel, which has been great because then it helps, it gives me something to do. Um, because I refuse to watch TV. I just that's the death knell. That's another thing too. I've always been like a nonfiction fiction book reader. So now I've had a little more time on trying to read more nonfiction books, and because I have time during the day, I'll book some time. I'll book some time to reading. I'll book some time to reading a book. So I'm reading something from the Frontiersman now. That's something I do occasionally too as well that I've been loving. Occasionally, like maybe once or twice a week, I'll watch like a Joe Rogan show from front to back, an hour and a half. All right, that's not front to back; it's usually like 2 hours, but I'll watch it for like an hour and a half. And one of the shows I watched was with Mel Gibson, which was awesome. And he recommended this book, The Frontiersman, which is a nonfiction book, hard read, but and so I've been reading that during the day too. When I get time, not much, like at most like a half hour a day. So stay busy. That's the important thing. Is it's worth the time to stay busy. But things that you used to think sucked that you would do on a Saturday and Sunday because they were taken away, all of a sudden don't suck anymore. So I kind of look at doing things a lot differently. So you have yourself a great day, great night, whatever it is, and I'll see you next time. So we're going to stop